Before we get started, I want you guys to check this out.
Why's your zipper, your buttons down in your crotch?
Well, I probably just forgot.
An accused rapist is caught with his pants unzipped in a truck full of underage kids during a traffic stop in New Mexico.
Okay, and then you have a bunch of kids in the car. How many kids? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who are these kids to you?
This is just my friend.
That's your friend?
The disturbing traffic stop happened on July 5th of last year in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dash camera footage shows a driver, later identified
I'm gonna
as
fast forward it a little
41-year-old
bit.
Jeremy.
I thought you were gonna crash.
No, I don't.
I didn't say. I don't think so. I'm just saying I thought you were gonna crash.
The first responder then comments on the 6 children inside the vehicle. Officials later confirmed the kids were
This and
Good?
At first, Guthrie claims he hasn't been drinking, but later admits
You heard that? At first, Guthrie claims he wasn't drinking. And then so on and so forth. So you mean to tell me because he's a good old white man with 6 children in his car that aren't even his, you don't do a breathalyzer? You just simply ask him if he was drinking, knowing good and well the man smells of alcohol, and he clearly, from what I can see, has been drinking. I'm not even a freaking cop, yo. How many of you remember this witch right here? Alice Sebold, this lying witch. How many of you remember her? Just in case you don't know who she is, she lied on a black man about him violating her. And she was able to get 2 books created behind this lie. Check it out. Let's go to the Wikipedia. Alice Sebold is an American author. She is known for the novels The Lovely Bones and The Almost Moon, and a memoir, Lucky. The Lovely Bones was on the New York Times bestseller list and was adapted into a film by the same name in 2010. Her memoir, Lucky, sold over 1 million copies and describes her experience in the first year at Syracuse University when she was raked. I'm gonna stop it right there because the bitch was lying the whole fucking time. This wicked bitch was lying the whole time. It was so much of a lie that when it was time to line the guys up on who did it, like who done it, you know how when it's time to point out the perpetrator, she pointed out the wrong guy at first until her buddy was like, "Hey, Alice, that wasn't the guy that you said did it at first." But she told her in secret. And then she said, "Oh, it's not him? Oh, well then it's the other guy." And the other guy was the original guy that she accused of violating her. Let's get it.
Thought I told you niggas once before. What? King Leo is the greatest, he gon' fucking soar. Yeah. And when one door closes, I'ma open more. I'm like Jordan on a beat when I'm ready to score. Rap ninja, interested in getting fast figures. A fact spitter with lyrics.
As you can see, the man's name is Anthony J. Broadwater. He spent 16 years in prison after being wrongly convicted in the assault in Syracuse, New York, which Miss Sebold, a well-known novelist. You mean a well-known lying-ass bitch. A wicked, lying-ass bitch. Y'all need to update her name already. Stop playing. Described in her memoir, Lucky. Okay? Her books and movies need to be banned. They need to be spat on. They need to be kicked, flushed in the toilet, and boycotted. They only gave this man 5.5 million, and I'll never forget when they actually had him on a interview after he got out of prison. He seemed like this man said he forgave her, guys. I'm sick of black people forgiving everybody for every goddamn thing, but black people don't forgive black people for nothing. Anyway, that's another video. I'm sick of black people forgiving white perpetrators for stuff. Stop being so happy about being a victim about something, and just because you survived it, you want to say that you forgave somebody. Anyway, they gave him 5.5 million. I'm not even gonna read this crap right here, guys. You could read it if you want. You could read this crap if you want. I don't care to read it. He spent 16 years in prison. They owe him $16 million. They only gave him 5.5 million. All right. Okay. As you can see on your screen, I gotta go in on this chick because she got some nerve. But isn't it amazing, guys, how when you're white, the cops talk to you nice. You know, they ask you if you've been drinking. They let you lie at first, and then they ask you if you're lying, and then they let you tell the truth if you feel like telling the truth. And instead of doing a breathalyzer test, they just ask you questions because forget about a breathalyzer test. This is a white guy we're dealing with. It's a white guy with a bunch of little kids in his car. Good old white man. Typical white man stuff, right? Then you got this chick on your screen. Obviously, she was brought up to not like black men and to believing that black men, all they want to do is violate white women because that's what her daddy told her and her mama told her. You better watch out for those black guys. They're coming for you. You see, the history of white supremacy, guys, you have to understand, they had to always create these delusional scenarios in order to justify their attacks and their viciousness toward black Americans. They always had to create these stupid realities like they're a bunch of violators, and they're a bunch of looters, and they're going to steal your stuff, and they're going to take your children. See, and everything, especially back then, that they said about blacks, nothing ever happened. Blacks never ever did anything to whites. All blacks wanted to do was live in peace and thrive and grow and invest into the black community and build black communities. Okay? And guys, I'm going to make another video about how segregation needs to be brought back. So stay tuned for that one, because segregation was never the problem. White savages coming into black neighborhoods and bombing black churches and slaughtering black people was always the problem. That has absolutely nothing to do with segregation. Segregation was actually a good thing, but let me not go on a tangent here. I have to stay on this topic, okay? So, Alice Sebold, the $1 million woman, the $1 million liar who was able to get away with lying on a black man about her being violated when she was in college. You see, what you have to understand, guys, is Alice Sebold always wanted to be someone in life. And because she knew that she wasn't that interesting as a person, she created a lie. Hey, everybody, I got violated. I got violated by a black man, and I'm alive to tell the story. And because I know that I'm white, people are going to believe me. Look at how beautiful I am. Look at how perfect my skin is and how thin my nose is and how nicely shaped my lips are and my straight. Look at me. I'm just so beautiful and innocent. Everybody's going to believe me, especially the white supremacists that run this country. All right. This was her thought process behind putting that innocent black man in prison for 16 years. That man was exonerated when it was found out that this witch was lying. That's the only reason why he was able to be free. Okay? Now, isn't it amazing how wonderful life is as a white supremacist? Not even a white supremacist, as a white person. You get to get away with having you get to get away with a whole lot. There are plenty of stories out there of white men violating a bunch of hundreds of children, tens of children and hundreds of children, and they never did a day in prison, and if they did do a day in prison, they probably did like 30 days or something like that. It's amazing to be a white person in America, especially when you got the right connections. If you don't have the right connections, then there's a higher chance that you're gonna do some time in prison. You're gonna do some time in prison, but you'll still get off with somewhat of a slap on the wrist. So, and this is what it's like for white people like Alice Sebold and the guy you saw in the beginning of the video. They had all those kids in his car. I wanted to talk about him a little bit too. He's clearly been doing this for a long time, guys, because ain't no way in hell he got that many underage children in his car. And this was his first time ever doing this. He got so comfortable. That man got so comfortable with violating children that he said, you know what? F it. I'm going to put all 6 of y'all in my car and we going to go somewhere. I'm just going to drive y'all somewhere so I could get jiggy with y'all. Because I'm just a old nutcase. You know what I'm saying? That's just the thought process with a lot of these cowards. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I just wanted to expose what the lifestyle of a white person in America is like. And because that white guy with the truck full of minors, that happened in Albuquerque. He got pulled over in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And that is the United States, as a matter of fact. So I take that back. I was going to say something else, but no. That's considered the United States. So it's amazing to be a white person in America, where you could just sit there and call the cops on people. You could call the cops on anybody you want. And all you got to do is use the code words, black male or black woman. Them cops are going to arrive in 2 minutes or less. The cops are considered the bulldogs of white supremacy. They are the bulldogs, and they're just doing their job, guys. Just so you know, they're doing their jobs. I don't want y'all to get it twisted. These cops, originally, they used to be called Slave Patrol. Okay? They used to be called Slave Patrol. They are doing their job. This is why I can never be a cop. Because I know what it takes to rise up the ranks. But yeah, guys, this is the end of this video. Tell me your thoughts. Leave a like. Share this video. Stay tuned for future videos. Let's go.
I come from a place that's real scary. Big guns, like military, real shit. No fairy tale. I possess a shit ton of knowledge. I'm like the Holy Grail. I was born with high perseverance so that I never fail. They tried to label me crazy and so I hid the pain. Tell 'em. Big Pharma selling alternate cocaine. Tell 'em. But